Hey guys, Tony Maritato here. Give me a second to share this out. I'm going to take you through some of the initial enrollment process so you guys can see what you need to do. Join me live. All right, let's see if we can get anybody to join us. Give me just another second here. I'm going to see if I can log in on my side so I can watch the live stream. Guys, if you haven't already, please take a minute and subscribe to the channel. Your support makes it possible for me to produce this content. So let's take a look at the process. Let's start with this, NPPES. If we come out here, right, you've got your basic, you need to create your initial enrollment account, create a new account. To give you kind of the big picture, so you need an identity and access management system, user ID and password. You need that pretty much for everything. So that's the first step in the process. You're going to need to create, if you don't already have one, which most of you probably do, a personal MPI for you as a provider. That MPI will stay with you regardless of where you're working in the country. If you decide that you're going to enroll in Medicare as a PT or OT in private practice or an SLP, and you're going to use some sort of company structure, an LLC, a PC, whatever your state requires, then you'll need an organizational MPI. And I have videos specifically showing you how to do that through the NPPES system. But one more time, so you're going to create your initial account. You're going to make sure you have a personal MPI that has your information. Sometimes an employer will make it for you and it'll use the employer's information. We need it to have your information, your address, your contact. You'll have an organizational MPI, which is a type 2 MPI. And when you get in, let me see if I can get logged in here real quick, of course. Okay, when you get into the NPPES system, you'll see 3 buttons along the bottom, one for an individual MPI, the last one is for your organizational MPI. And it's a very simple process. There's some confusing language in it, but my video will walk you right through the organizational type 2 MPI. Then you'll need a PCOS account. And so I'm going to jump over, since I don't have my password for this, I'm going to go get logged into PCOS. PCOS looks something like this. And what will happen is when you log in, it'll take you to a screen similar to this. You'll see you'll have My Associates, and this is where you'll look for your enrollment for the first time. You'll be able to manage your account, who has access to your account and other enrollments. And then if you're already a provider, there's a validation option here. Within PCOS, this is where you can come to look for your MPI, or I'm sorry, your PTAN, if you already have one. So like if I click on that Medicare ID, I can search by organization. I can search by individual. If I'm an individual, and let's say, for example, like I don't know my MPI off the top of my head. So I'll just open up an MPI lookup tool. And honestly, the one I like is this, just because it's short, quick, and easy. So Maritato, Ohio. Here is my individual MPI. This is public information. If I copy that and come over here and paste it, I'm going to hit the search feature, and that will bring up, which I guess I can't share publicly. I don't know if I'm supposed to or not. That brings up all of my Medicare provider numbers along with um, any other information related to your PTAN. So you guys are seeing this live. Looks like a couple people jumped on with me. I appreciate that. Post a comment in YouTube, follow and subscribe to the channel. But so this is the Medicare search tool. This is within your PCOS account. Now let's get into the nitty gritty. So I'm going to walk you guys through one kind of common scenario when you're initially enrolling in the Medicare system. So let's go to My Associates. This is where we're going to submit an initial enrollment. You will have these checklists. And so this, for example, checklist for sole proprietor, or doesn't say, or indicates that this is different. Solely owned organization using PCOS. This is really important. This is all the information you're going to need before you start the enrollment process. You know, most of this you probably already have on hand. Some of it you might not. But just keep in mind that a solely owned organization is different from a sole proprietor. Okay, so let me jump back here. Checklist for individual physician, non-physician practitioner. Checklist for a supplier organization. So let's go ahead and start an initial enrollment. Ooh, 5 people. Now, I'm not sure if you guys are going to see your company in your PCOS account yet or not, but let's just pretend for most of you out there how you get the process started. So I'm going to go ahead and click. You're going to click on yourself as an individual. It's going to take you to this screen. It's going to ask, are you an institutional provider? For most of you interested here, you are not an institutional provider. Clinics, group practices, certain other suppliers. This includes the sole owner of a professional association, professional corporation, or limited liability. But then as you go down, so you've got durable medical equipment, you've got Medicare diabetes prevention, you've got individual physician or non-physician practitioner, including sole owner of a professional association, eligible ordering, certifying, prescribing physician. If you want, absolutely don't hesitate to reach out to your particular MAC. But generally speaking, most of the clients that I'm working with, you're enrolling as an individual, especially if you don't have a PTAN. So you're doing an individual as including sole owners of a PCPA LLC. So we're going to choose that option. Then it's going to take you into the next screen, and this is where you're going to see sole owner of a PAPC LLC, self-employed sole proprietor. This would be a situation. Option number 2 is a situation where you don't have a separate company. Sorry about that. You are the sole, everything goes through you. There is no separate entity. Group member is what you would use if you were getting your initial enrollment done and you're not owning a company, you're not billing under yourself, you're solely reassigning benefits to another group. Group member and self-employed. Obviously, it's a combo situation here, or disregarded entity. I don't know anybody who does that. So let's go with sole owner of a PAPC LLC. This is where most of you are going to be. We'll click next. This is where you can see this enrollment is for an individual who has formed a professional corporation, association, or limited liability company. Practitioner as a sole owner. The reason why this keeps coming up is because if you create a group practice, if you have a business entity that has more than one owner, let's say 2 physical therapists are coming together, you're going to own 50% each of the company, then you would submit a different application. This is when you're the only single owner operator, single member LLC, any of those scenarios, which is in most of the situations, that's what we're dealing with. Click next. It's going to give you your information. Click next. And if you guys hang out with me, we're going to go through the process here. So select a territory. I'm going to select Ohio just because obviously that's where I am. You would choose your territory or state. And we are going to be Part B, non-physician specialty. If we click and drop down, you can see physical therapist and private practice. You can see occupational therapist in private practice. And you see qualified speech language pathologist. So those are going to be one of the three options. Since I'm a PT, we're going to go with that. And then it's going to ask you, you have access to an existing enrollment record matching the information. So let me do this just because I don't want to mess this up. Obviously, I'm still seeing patients under my regular. I'm just going to pick a random state. I'm going to go with Maryland. Maybe not. Let's try Colorado. There we go. Okay. So let's pretend I'm opening a practice in Colorado. I click next. I click next. It's going to ask me for a legal name. I'm just going to go with generic physical therapy because I don't have a legal name. This is a fake enrollment. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so it's gonna, you would put in your real tax ID number, you'd put in your real information. I'm using fake information here because I'm going to delete this enrollment once we get past the initial phase. So now that takes me into this next screen. And so you can see some of the information has been started. Practitioner specialty, LLC information. Most of the information has been left blank. This is where we begin the submission. And once you begin the submission, then you're just going to go through and you're going to answer all the questions. Now, here's the deal. I don't want to begin the submission because I'm just showing you guys the process of getting in here. If you have questions like, this is the kind of information, and I'm the first one to say, look, it's extremely confusing. There are some halfway decent resources out there, nothing amazing. I've got a private video inside the Medicare billing group for anybody who joins that walks you through every step in the application beyond this point. I'm not going to take you guys through past this point because, like I said, I don't want to get this enrollment out there. But inside my Medicare billing course, we have the video that walks you through the organizational MPI process and the video that walks you through each step in this initial enrollment process. We talk about the attachments that you'll need to include, which are the CMS 460, your participating provider agreement, the EFT documentation, and then if you're providing care in the patient's home, I show you how to fill out that section. If you're providing care in a physical location that you either lease or have some sort of arrangement with, I'll show you where to upload a copy of your lease, any business licenses you may need based on your city, state regulations, and then if you own a facility or if you're not leasing, those situations are addressed as well throughout this enrollment process. Once you get everything done, anybody who's in my Medicare course, I'm happy to review your enrollment before you submit it just to mitigate any possible chance of denial, rejection, missing information. But generally speaking, if you follow the steps in the video, it's pretty self-explanatory. I'm not selling that as a separate module or anything. It's included in anyone who joins my Medicare billing course. That being said, time for the plug. If you want to join the Medicare billing course, I'll post a link in the comments below. I'm migrating the platform just a little bit. So the link you guys are going to see here is a different link than what people normally see. But it's the same course, the same content. You get access to all the live sessions. I'm teaching module 4 live tonight. And then we've got tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern, tomorrow and the next day, 4, 5, and 6. Then we hit a marketing module and we just pick back up. And we just keep teaching this content each time, making it a little bit better. So guys, if you have any questions for me, let me know. I'm going to get back to work. I've been working on all this digital stuff today because obviously I'm home. I'm not treating patients in the clinic, probably just like you. And if you have anything that you need, reach out to me directly. I'm just sitting at my computer working. Guys, I'll catch you on the next video. I hope this was helpful for you.